going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm finally back at home, back in the shop. For those of you that are new, I've spent the last few weeks offshore. I actually did post a short little picture slideshow of the crane we installed offshore. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. Give me a thumbs up, maybe leave a comment. But I guess yeah, I'm back at home. We can finally get back to work on this car. Last video I posted with this car, we installed a larger transmission cooler in the back. Something I was going to do eventually, but because the last time I drove it, the temperature gauge was either malfunctioning or the transmission was actually getting hot. I hit it with one of those temperature guns. It said it barely got 140, 150, and that's with adding about 10 degrees to it. So just to eliminate any problems, we went ahead and installed a larger transmission cooler in the back. And when I left off from that, I still had to install the cooler lines. I kind of dropped the ball. I thought I had some and I didn't. So while I was at offshore, I went ahead and ordered those lines. I also went ahead and ordered a 185 degree temperature fan relay kit. So we'll be installing that as well. As a matter of fact, show you what I got so far. Now, it usually takes me about a day or so to get in the rhythm of things. So the last day I've already ran the lines from the transmission up the side of the frame rail, over the rear axle, and plumbed into our cooler. Here's our fan. Like I said, we still got to wire that up. Plumbed in there. And I got a couple other little fittings here because this is our 185 degree thermostat. That still needs to be wired into the relay. So I will be adding links to all that in the description. Like I said, all this stuff I get off eBay. So if you're looking for something like this, I haven't used one of these before. I usually just kind of wire things in, put them on a switch. But I drove this car last time. And if it doesn't need to come on, it doesn't need to come on. There's no reason for it. If it stays cool enough, great. That fan may or may not ever come on. But I'm interested to see. And eventually I did order a fuse block and a couple other switches too. So I'll put it on a manual override if need be. But for right now, I'm just going to worry about wiring in the relay. So we'll do that. We'll get to that here in a minute. Really, what I want to do now is, like I've said in a few videos before, how appreciative I am of you guys that are subscribing and commenting and sharing. That I want to try to do a 1,500 subscriber giveaway. So that's what I'm doing. I am going to be doing that. And actually the prize is going to be a nut rivet tool. Now we're under the car. You see how I had the lines mounted up against the frame rail? That was with the drilling holes, mounting some rivets, and using this thing. This is actually a neat, really a real neat kit. This will be about the box it comes in. As you can see, it's got a bunch of different assortments of nut rivets from metric and standard. You got 5/16. I believe all these without the little tag on it are the metric ones. Here's all your little bits to screw into the end of the gun. Really neat tool. Really helps with mounting things. And I'm going to show you exactly how it works. So I'll put you up here on this little tripod. So for those of you who have never used one or have never seen one, let's see, maybe scoot your back just a little bit more so you can see it. This guy right here is off as like a bathroom towel hanger. Find it in your bathroom. Matter of fact, see how thin it is. Really don't have a whole lot of room in there to thread anything. I mean, you could use self-tappers if you wanted, and I have nothing against self-tappers. That car has a lot of them in it from my very first years. As a matter of fact, most of the cradle, the fuel cell, and all that stuff sits in have those. They're big, they're pretty thick self-tappers. They got the little rubber O-ring on them because a lot of guys will use them for steel metal roofs and stuff. But I have been slowly going through that car, like I said, drilling them, taking them out, and adding these nut certs. So this is what they look like before it gets used. This is a size 1/4 20. This is what it looks like after it gets pinched. And it's real simple. Grab the nut you want to use, grab a drill bit, get it somewhat close to the outside diameter of this guy. Drill your hole. Let's see, what's a good spot for you? You know, we'll do it right out here. Why not? Pick a spot that you want. Drill your hole. Whoops. Now I like to run the drill bit in a couple dozen times. At least a couple. Kind of clear off all the burrs. There you go. Make sure it falls in. Put it on your nut rivet gun there. Open the handles all the way up, of course. I usually go down till it touches and maybe like a full turn off. Give yourself a little bit of a gap. Put her in the hole and squeeze. Now, if there's no resistance on it when you hit the bottom, go ahead and open it back up. Turn your little knob in just a little bit farther. You want to go till you feel resistance. There you go. Now it's got resistance. I'm going to go down. Make sure they close all the way. Open it up. And now you have a nut rivet installed in this guy here. Get a shot down in there. You can see how it pinches. Let's see. See if I can get the focus a little better for you. No, maybe not. Who knows? But you can see how it threads. Anyways, you get the idea. You can use a self-tapper to mount to this little guy here, but I wanted to use it to install the nut rivet there to show you. This is a piece of 1/4 all thread. This is the same stuff I have, or the same method I use to mount the transmission cooler lines and the intercooler lines from the ice box in the trunk all the way to the intercooler up front. So, drill a little hole in the side of our frame rail, put our nut rivet, 1/4 nut, lock washer, thread it in, tighten the nut up against the lock washer there to keep the nut. The lock washer is only there to keep it, help prevent it from backing off. So now she's good and tight, as you guys can see. Nice good stud. Basically, we grab them really quick. Goofball, should have had this set up for you already, but I didn't. Like I said, I got a set of dash 10 lines. They go from the ice box to the intercooler up front. I got the centers of them drilled out to fit over 1/4. Slide it over, grab yourself another 1/4 nut, run it in. Now that nut there is just, you can use a nylock if all you're going to use is the one separator, then you can use something else. It doesn't have to be this long. Of course, I mean, this is just to get the idea. But this nut there is to tighten the stud and hold this off. Dash 10 lines, nut there. Now the nut you're going to need, because if the nut's not there, this will run in, you'll have a gap. If you go to tighten it up, it'll bend the heck out of these things. They're really soft aluminum. They're just meant to separate, but I like to use things differently. And of course, oh, that's dash 10. Same idea though. Boom. Then I have the dash 6 line sitting out on the outside there. And of course I have another nut on the outside. It's a nylock. It'll help hold it, but basically the setup or the mounting idea I have to hold my lines up against the frame rail down under the car. As a matter of fact, I'm going to crawl up underneath there right now, kind of show you guys what they look like. Here we go. Going surfing. So, there we go, coming from the side of the transmission around the cross member. And this one here is by itself. That's just Allen, 1/4 Allen going through into the nutsert of the frame rail. Come on down here.
And now you can see the dash 10 lines there. And there's our dash 6 over it, and this is just a nylock nut. Same there. Same there. And then they're zip tied together going over the rear axle into the cooler. So just an idea of what you can use that for. Of course, it has many other applications. If you're mounting a floor shifter and you need a spot to bolt the shifter to, this will help you with that. If you're doing just mounting panels on the inside of the car, doing a rear seat to lead, or you're making your own custom door panels, like I said, you could use this. I have nothing against sheet metal screws. A lot of people use them. They're fast, they're easy. They got their own little drill bit built into the end, so either way is fine. But I've come to like these nut rivet tools more and more every time I use them, so figured I'd share that with you and give one away. So like I said, 1,500 subscriber giveaway. Show my appreciation to you guys. Without you guys hanging out, watching the videos and stuff, this wouldn't really be all that possible. I mean, yeah, I'd be out here, but the amount of motivation I have after starting this channel, some of this stuff would still be a dream. The fact that, I mean, this engine blew up, the original one, I still have it sitting over there underneath the thing. I have not touched it, but since it blew up and I got the idea to start this channel, this car's come much farther than the beginning, and I just want to keep learning, keep growing with it. And that's all because of you guys. I really probably never would have thought of building this turbo setup for this cross cart, like I said, and this cross cart really, because it started life off as something different, and now it's become much, much more. Because of the drive, the motivation to learn. And that's all because of you guys, so I really, really appreciate that. And I'm going to ramble and ramble and ramble on because that's what I do. But again, 1,500 subscriber giveaway. This nut rivet gun there, I ordered the kit. Should be here within a few days. We're mid 1300s, like I believe I said that. So just a little bit more than 150 subscribers left to hit 1,500. If you guys want a chance to win this nut rivet gun, comment down below, help me build, and you must be subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and comment down below, help me build. Definitely share with your friends. Like I said, I want to continue to help you guys out for helping me. So I'm going to just keep doing giveaways like I've been doing. So, and like I said, they'll get better and better. I'm hoping as we grow, then the giveaways get better and better. Either parts I use, tools I use, something I may think help you guys out, gift cards, something like that. So, like I said, I can ramble and ramble and ramble. Now that I've said that, let's get back to the car here. Like I said, the lines have already been ran. I'm going to get myself set up, find a place to mount our relay, and then start running the wiring to our fan. That way we can get this thing set, or get the car started, and see what it will take to trigger the fan. So, be right back. All right, so relay is installed. Got it up underneath the car. I'll show you guys what I got. So, here's the relay that came with the kit. I just have it mounted with an existing bolt that we had holding in the cooler bracket that we made. So, I know wiring's really, really exciting, but here's just kind of a quick reference. I got yellow and orange going up through the floor for right now. Red goes to the positive side of the fan. Gray goes to our sending unit. Now, if I turn the car on, see, gray goes to the sending unit. When this guy here hits 185, then it'll switch to ground, and that'll power our relay, which will power the fan. Now I have this wire right here. I have it dangling because I plan on running a manual wire from the front back here, but for just kind of like demonstration purposes, I'll show you what happens. So as you can see, it goes directly to up here. If I go straight to ground, it kicks our fan on. You can hear the relay in there. You can hear the relay. So I have that wire rigged up for right now. Like I said, I'm going to run a wire from the front. I got a couple. I ordered a little fuse or a switch panel and a fuse box for back here. Fuse box as well, because I've got way too many wires coming off our kill switch now. I just want to run one to a fuse block down here somewhere or over there to run our wires. I've got trigger or power wire coming for the fuel pump, the water pump for our intercooler, and now I've got it powering the cooling fan for our transmission cooler. So I ordered a fuse blocks or a fuse block 4 circuit to put down here. I only need 3 to start with, so I still have 1 open circuit. I can always upgrade later. But like I said, that wire down there, I'm going to run a couple switches from the front back here. That way I can manually turn on the intercooler if I need to. I don't have to power everything up, because the intercooler is piggybacked off the fuel pump. Intercooler only runs if the fuel pump comes on. But if for whatever reason I'm sitting still and I want to run the water through to kind of cool everything off, I don't want to have the car running per se, so I can just manually switch the water pump for the intercooler on, get that cooled down. Same with the cooling fan for the transmission. If for whatever reason I want it to come on quicker or cool what's there, or sit there and idle and have to drive it, I can switch it on sooner. I don't have to wait for 185. So I get my fuse box, you can see I just ran the wires in there for right now. That way I can figure out where I want to mount the fuse box. So I got that, and yeah, everything's plumbed. Everything works. I have not ran the car yet. I also want to say too, before I fire this thing up, if anybody is wondering, or if you guys follow me, somebody that follow me on Instagram seen, I posted, I got my old drag radials here mounted on the rims that my Cooper Cobras were on, and they fit perfectly. And if you want to know the size or what those are Jegs Sport Lights. They're a 15x8 rim with a 4.5-inch back spacing, but I have to run a 1/2-inch backspace. So if you got a 15x8 with a 4-inch, a 275 60/15 Nitto drag radial will fit underneath this car with a narrowed 8.8 if you've done everything or close to what we've done. So just to let you guys know, that's what's on the car. So now I'm going to get the wheel on, get it bolted up, get the car back on the ground, get it outside, of course. That way we can get it fired up, get it outside, see if we can't get the transmission and everything to warm up, see what happens. Just let it sit there idle, let it warm up, and see if the fan comes on. If it doesn't get hot enough sitting there idling, then of course we'll have to take it for a drive and see what happens. But for right now, I'm gonna get the wheel on, get it on the ground, get it outside, and let it run for a little bit. So let's see what happens. Okay, so that was just a quick 35, probably 40-second clip of the car idling and actually the transmission temperature staying down. As you guys can see, it is late outside. And when I got the car on the ground earlier, got it outside, took about, I don't know, 45 minutes of it idling. But the temperature hit 180 idling. And so I decided, you know what, let's take it for a drive. Let's see what it does. I didn't get no more than probably 2-3 miles from the house, and that thing jumped over 200 degrees. So my last temperature gauge was not faulty. This transmission has been running hot. Now, with that other cooler, and of course we put this one in the back, and we ran some new lines to it. I got a temperature control with the fan on. I had to play with some of the fan as well. I switched it back and forth. But now this thing has been sitting here idling for the last half hour, 45 minutes. And I gave you guys a quick little show of what it was doing at the end of that before I shut it off. And I'm going to show you what I ended up coming up with. So let me get down here and get underneath the car and show you what it looks like. So what I ended up doing is, remember, this thing here sat up more flush with the bottom of the pan here. Covered all this. Now I do have to fix some of the wiring. I was going back and forth. But what I ended up having to do is go up. We used our nut rivet gun, of course. Put some nut rivets up in there. 1/4 20. Added a couple of these guys so I can bolt this up. Basically lay it out. That way when we're driving, the air comes past. And what it does is it wants to dive down into the fan. So the fan's turning, pulls the air through. And I took it on a drive earlier. And this, as long as you're cruising and you're not going through town or the back roads like residential areas, you're not just creeping along. If you're up on the highway there where I got and you're cruising 55, 60 miles an hour, this car did not get above 175 degrees. Between 170 and 175. I think 175 is the highest I've seen it get. Now, if you're cruising through town, residential, and you're going from stop sign to stop sign, you're not running air past it, it did creep up to 190, which is nowhere near what it was doing earlier today. So that's good. I also have to keep in mind that this is a 4200 stall in this car. So it might be a little high now with, of course, the new gearing and the different engine. I didn't, this torque converter worked really well with the 289 and the 380 gears. It never, with the other gauge, it never got above like 170, which is why I thought the other gauge was broken, because all of a sudden it just jumped to over 200, 220, 240. So that's why I thought it was broken. That's why we swapped it out, but apparently it was not. Just some of the changes we've made with this car have changed the way the torque converter and transmission act. So with that in the back now, the new cooler in the back, we got it angled down so the air runs across the top. The fan pulls it through. I ordered another transmission pan for this car as well. I ordered a deeper pan, cast aluminum with fins to help with cooling. So it adds another 1.5 quart, I believe, of capacity. So that's good. It also comes with the bosses in it, or the bungs, so I can have not only a temperature gauge, I'll have room, I think, to put our thermostat in the pan. So we'll move it from the cooler to the pan, and that'll help. So all I gotta do is just basically move it over. I can pull those fittings off our cooler in the back, put the hose directly to the cooler, move the thermostat to the pan, and just extend the wires. And of course, make it manual as well. So hopefully that'll come in soon. We can get that on, see how that works out. But like I said, it's been a long day. I finally got the car so where it would drive. It cruised 170, 175 degrees for the transmission, which is way better than the 220 it hit at the very first, earlier today. So I'm definitely happy with that. Just going to do a couple little things. Maybe if we get to run a little bit cooler. But that was in the evening, a couple hours ago. So just happy we got to where it's at. I can ramble and ramble, but it's late. Pulled it in. I'm going to end this video right here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, mid 1,300 subscribers. We're doing the 1,500 subscriber giveaway. So if you guys want to be included to win a nut dry or a nut cert, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, turn on notifications, and do not forget to comment down below, help me build. Just those 3 words. Don't got to buy nothing. All you got to do is be subscribed. It does help if you share. So again, 1,500 subscriber giveaway. The second we hit 1,500, I will pick a winner, but you have to be subscribed and you have to comment down below, help me build. So don't forget to do that. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, share with your friends, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.